Sorry, I'm really self-conscious about how I look right now. Oh God, I'm just not gonna look at it. Hi, hey, what's up? Happy Pride Month. Yo, Pride Month, how great is that? We have a month where we can be prideful of our sexuality, being gay, being bi, being pan, being whatever you want. Being queer sums it up. And if you fall under the LGBTQ plus spectrum, I don't know the right word. If you fall under that blanket, hey, happy Pride Month. And if you don't really know where you fall on that spectrum, well then this video is for you. Cause hey, I don't either. About a year ago, I made a video called My Sexuality. It was really weird video to make cause I never thought I would make a video like that, and I didn't know what my sexuality would become, and to this day I still don't know. So if you didn't watch that video from a year ago, I wouldn't call it like a coming out video. It was more of like, hey, I don't fully know my sexuality. I've experienced new things in my life and new feelings that has made me reevaluate what my sexuality is. And the basic point I was trying to get across with that video, and what I'm also gonna get across in this video, this is basically just kind of a reminder. Not about my sexuality, because like I said in that video, my sexuality, it doesn't really concern anyone but me, and that's kind of how I feel about anyone's sexuality. It really shouldn't concern anybody but themselves. It can concern other people if they want it to, if they want to be open and talk about it, then for sure. But someone else's sexuality, it really should never really matter to you. It really shouldn't in any capacity. And I made that video partly because I always had seen people ask me about my sexuality and always comment about it, assumptions or whether they're wondering. And I just kind of wanted to get it out in the open and be like, hey, my sexuality is, I don't really know what it is. And a year later, I still don't really know. A couple years ago, I had never really thought I didn't really know too much about how I felt about anyone that wasn't a girl. I thought growing up I was like, okay, I like girls. And growing up I always thought guys were really beautiful and I could be like attracted to them, but I thought I was like, oh, that's just an appreciation for how they look. And then a couple years ago, I went on some dates with guys and I started making out with a bunch of different guys, and it was just kind of like just really kind of just finding myself, and it felt nice to kind of really kind of realize I was a bit more than I thought, and I was a bit different than what I thought growing up, and it was all kind of making sense. And it doesn't have to make perfect sense, and it still doesn't make perfect sense for me. And I'm rambling, but I'm trying to get to a point. My point being is, you don't have to know your sexuality. You don't have to be sure of it. You don't have to have this black and white answer. It doesn't have to boil down to, I'm straight, I'm bi. You don't have to label yourself as anything. There's such a pressure, I think, to have a label and to know who you are and how you feel all the time, but don't feel pressured. If you are confused about the way you feel with your sexuality, if you're not 100%, or if you don't feel comfortable being open about it, that's 100% okay. You don't need to know. You don't need to explain to anyone, and you don't need to put more pressure on yourself. If you do 100% know, if you're like, this is how I am, this is how I feel, that's very awesome. But if you are similar to me, and similar to how I've been feeling for the last couple of years, where you don't really know where you fall, and you don't really 100% know how you feel, and you feel like you don't have a label, or you don't have an answer to tell people when they ask you. That's so okay. You don't ever have to have an answer, and you don't ever have to know perfectly what your sexuality is or how you feel. Life's about figuring out your feelings and having new experiences and finding out who you are in different ways, and there might never be like a perfect answer or this final feeling, and that's okay. And that's what I'm trying to get across, even though I've been kind of rambling a little bit longer than I wanted to. Don't feel pressured to always know. I've sort of come to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't have to focus on gender. I don't have to focus on any of that. I can just kind of focus on, if I fall in love with someone, or if I'm attracted to someone, I'll be attracted to them for who they are and for how I feel about them. I'm not going to be attracted to them because, oh, she's a girl, oh, he's a guy, oh, they're non-binary, and everything in between. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I think it's a big point that I want to make, and it's just, you don't have to know. You don't have to know. I figured that out for myself. I didn't know. I still don't really know. And I feel very, I had a bit of a time where I was feeling pressured. And the pressure was by myself, but also I kind of felt a little bit pressured because people would always ask me. But it was mostly pressure from myself. I'm like, well, figure it out. Like, how do you feel? What is it? But when I finally was just like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are who you are. I feel how I feel. It doesn't have to be complicated or anything like that. And another point I wanted to make with the video was, since it's Pride Month, I do want to remind everyone, this is like the most safe space ever. Hopefully. I try to make it that way. If you are a follower of mine, then I would expect you to be open-minded, loving, and just good to everybody. No matter if they're trans or gay, or literally, there's a million different things people are, and there's no reason to hate on someone for who they are, unless, obviously, if they're a fucking murderer or something. But anybody in the LGBTQ community, you are so welcome here. You are loved. We love you so much. We appreciate you, and it's always the safest space ever. I promise. So just know that. Just know this is a safe, wonderful space where you can be yourself, and hopefully the world, and there has been steps over the last 10, 20, 30 years of the world being a more comfortable and better place for people who are LGBTQ. But quite obviously, everywhere, and definitely in certain parts of the world, there's so much more to be done and such a longer road to go. And I'm fucking here. I'm here with you. I'm here with all of us, and we're gonna keep fighting till I die, and past when I die. Obviously, well, it's not obvious, but I've told you guys, we give money, a portion of the money I make from YouTube, we give it to different charities, and some of those charities are, LGBTQ community charities. And I will leave the links to those down in the description. You can go check them out yourselves. Technically, by you watching this video, you're helping out and donating, because some of the money will go towards those places. But if you have some extra money lying around and you want to help out some different causes for the LGBTQ community, the links are down below in the description. If you want to go do it, or you just want to share the links, always helps. And I don't have a plan really coming in this video. I just want to kind of say how I was feeling and let you guys know my opinion. Not that it matters too much, but it is my channel, and sometimes I just like to share my opinions on stuff that I care about. So, in summary, fucking love you. I love all of you. Even if you're watching this, you're not in the LGBT community, it's all good. Just be an ally, Just be a great person and lift up LGBTQ people whenever you can. But if you are in the LGBTQ community, like I said, fucking, if you, whether you 100% know who you are, you 1% know who you are, you fucking know your sexuality, you don't know it, dude, you're valid, you're killing it, we love you, don't feel too much pressure. And another thing that I haven't mentioned, that I meant to mention, if you do feel a certain way, but you have not come out yet, dude, all good. Everyone's journey is unique, and some are more complicated than others, whether that be having, less supportive people in their lives, or being in a place where it's very difficult to come out. If you're not out yet, that's okay. You come out whenever you're comfortable, whenever you feel like it's right, whenever you feel like you're okay to do so. But you not being out does not diminish your sexuality either. You're no less who you are if you're not out. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not explaining it too well, but I hope you get what I'm saying. And honestly, I've been rambling for, it seems like almost 15 minutes. So, it was a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I did want to just say everything that I said, and I said everything I said. So, hey, love you. Happy Pride Month. Like I said, this is always a safe space. It's always a space filled with love. K-Squad is a squad made up of many different human beings with many different feelings and sexualities and genders and races and religions and colors and all that stuff. Sort of like the world, but I'd like to think we're a little bit more open and cool than the world. Anyway, love you. Happy Pride Month. Go check out those organizations if you have a chance to. And if you can donate some money, then that's even better. Yeah, okay. Love you. Happy Pride Month. Keep being prideful. All right. Bye.
I run away, another day. You know the pain, always everything the same. Why does everybody always seem to like me? But I can't even better try to look at what they see now. I don't wanna be the boy that's always in love, but always myself every morning that I wake up. Don't know who to blame.